Are you ready? Are you ready? Nah, I don't think you're ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? Nah, I don't think. Ooh, let's get rid of that thing. Boom. Hey, Rockstar. Myron Golden once said, "Time is money is one of the most expensive lies you could ever buy." Welcome to episode 70. Money is not the root of all evil. Woo! Miguel, it's going to be a good show. Go ahead, do the thing, yo. Rockstar. Hey. Hey, Rockstar. Hey, Rockstar. Hey, Rockstar. Hey, Rockstar. Hey, Rockstar. 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 Hey, Rockstar. Welcome. This is a storytelling platform designed to empower you to build yourself up physically, spiritually, mentally, socially, and financially. Why stories? Because stories live on. They are eternal. They are a powerful reminder of what one can accomplish when opportunity presents itself. So listen carefully, learn the lessons, apply them to the big five, and become the rock star of your industry. Yeah. Again, I need to fix that. I hate the whole suddenly boom and we're done. We're in. But we're working on that. Welcome, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Josafat El Guapo Emiliano, and this is Hey Rockstar. It's a storytelling platform. We're here to just share stories, and I finally got some guests lined up. So hopefully next week we have our first guest lined up. And first of all, I know today's not Thursday. You're like, what the heck, Hosal? We're used to you on Thursdays. I did on Friday because this week just so much happened. But that's the cool thing about this. Until you guys start being more frequent with me, then we'll come up with a sturdy schedule. But next week we should return to our normal schedule. Let me encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you want to add your commentary or you just add some comments, go ahead and just type in the comments in either Facebook or YouTube. I'm also on Periscope via Twitter, but I'm not sure if I get those. But if it's relevant to the topic at hand, the conversation, I will highlight it and we can talk about whatever we need to talk about. And if it's not, we'll try to get them all at the end of the show. But my goal is to give you at least a half hour of value, of thought-provoking ideas. And something tells me that this might have your attention because we're going to talk about money. Most importantly, how money is not the root of all evil. All right, let me go take the shades off so you guys can see my eyes, because I'm more sincere when you see me face to face. How is everyone today? This afternoon, this evening? It's 5:30 something here in Nashville, Tennessee. It's gonna be a busy weekend. I already have a lot of things lined up for this evening, so I got to get ready to go hang out with some friends and all this fun stuff. But let's just dive right in. This is an idea that I've been sitting on through what I've been listening to and studying. And last episode, I went hardcore on the promises, aka the scripture, because that's where I pull my wisdom from. But let's just go in. What exactly am I referring to? How money is not the root of all evil. I was hoping to have some stories lined up for you just off the top of my head about money and using money, or how money is something that that just pops up. But honestly, the only story I can think of off the top of my head was when I first got my wallet. And I was so proud of a wallet that my dad got me at a flea market. And I felt like a big boy because now I had my own way to hold money. And I remember going to church on Sunday and my grandpa and grandma showed up. And I was like so proud to show my grandpa my nice little leather, maybe it was pleather, I don't know, sure, wallet. And my grandpa took it, he opened it, and he looked at it and goes, "There's something wrong with this thing." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And to my eyes, like, it's the perfect gift. And then he goes, "It's missing something." And I'm still kind of confused. But then he took out his ragtag wallet. You could see it's been weathered with time. It was used. The leather had just been faded. Probably was black or brown, but it's been faded now to like a grayish, worn out. And he pulled out a crisp dollar bill, and I think it was a $5 bill. And he put it in my wallet. And he goes, "There you go. Now your wallet's complete." How cool! At a very young age, my grandfather knew that money belongs in wallets. So let's talk about money. Okay. A lot of people have been asking me why I've been talking about money. Well, because I now am in the world of finances, and I'm learning and been educating myself, and I'm helping to educate others on the rules of money, on what they can do with their money. But all right. Let's just get to the topic at hand. If you guys have any questions, this might be a short video, but if you have any questions, here's where we want to go with this. Though one of the most misquoted verses of all times is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. Yes, we're going to use scripture today because that's what people tend to use. And people always say that money is the root of all evil. But the scripture, and I actually have it saved right here. I'm using the New Living Translation for this one. It reads like this. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. It says, let me go to the right page. "For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. And some people, craving money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows." All right, I like the NLT, but some people like, it's gotta be King James or nothing. So I don't got the King James, but I have the New King James. There's a lot less words to trip me up, but it's basically based off the KJV. Let's read it again in the New King James. "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil, for which some have strayed from the faith in their greediness and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." So there, right there and then, most people are like, "Oh, I knew that's where Jose was going with this. Money's not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil." But yet still, money is something that is seen as a bad stigma, especially in some of the circles that I grew up in. The church circles. Let's just be honest. And a lot of us grew up with that notion like, well, maybe pursuing, and we think that pursuing money equals the love of money. But let's just break it down, y'all. We live in a world where we trade goods and services. And then through the economy, the way things were created, we realized, well, in season, milk is good, but you can't hold milk all day or else get spoiled. We need something that we can trade for. And you know what? This is relevant to the conversation. I'm going to highlight Mr. Jacob Bruce. Hi. Welcome to the show. I saw you were promoting the show. I'm excited to see what kind of conversations or what kind of people you bring to this little quick video that I have. Well, it's not a quick, it's going to be at least half hour. But thank you, Jacob, for joining us. And anyone else who has come in through his links, all are welcome here. Please comment if you have any questions or any suggestions, any, "Oh yeah," or like, "I don't like where you're going with this." It's okay. I'm a thought leader. My job is to bring you these thoughts that come to mind and we can discuss them. That's what grown-ups do. I'm not here to tell you you're wrong, I'm right. I'm just here to change your mindset on certain things. Well, not change. I'm here to highlight a different way of thinking certain things. But anyway, back to this, the way the money works is eventually we got to the point where we all came to the agreement that we needed to establish something. Uh-oh, did I just lose myself? Or did my camera just die? Can you hear me? All right, you can still hear me. You just couldn't see me. My camera just did the weirdest thing. Let me make sure I'm getting power to it. It just powered down. If I need to, I can switch over to my computer camera, but that is the weirdest thing. This camera just shut off on me. But at least you can still hear me because the audio, yeah, it's going. It's gone. Well, hoobastank. Let me see something real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, don't freak out. Because if you freak out, then I have to freak out. Oh, technology. Don't we just love you? We just love you. I don't know. That was the weirdest thing. I guess for some reason my camera's not holding a charge, even though it's plugged in directly. Well, all right. I guess we're going to do this. We're going to show you, it's not as pretty behind scenes, but let's change the camera view so you can at least see where we're going. Hey. Boom. Let me move the wires. There you go. And then move this light. All right, cool. So we work around what we got to work around. Long as you guys can still hear me, the message will get through. And we'll just go with this. We're using my desktop camera until I figure out why my little camera's not working right now. But that's okay. Back to this. Eventually, we found out that money was a great way to trade. We all agreed to the dollar or whatever bill, that's something that's a debt to pay back. Anyway, all this to say that the what's the point is money helps us buy produce, effectively use and trade successfully these days. So why not? And honestly, to live in this day and age, we need to have money, and we need to find our ways to trade goods and services to get money so that we can go and provide for our families, provide for ourselves, so we can sustain ourselves, so we can be part of a community. Let's build a little bit more on that thought. I'm still kind of shook that this camera. To buy cameras at work. Well, actually, this camera has been good for 2 years. I guess maybe 3 years was too much to ask for of this camera. Anyway. So, the scripture says the love of money is the root of all the evil. And I wanted to read another story, another Bible story for you guys. And we all know this one. It's the story of the talents, of the servants and the talents. Now, the word talent, I remember growing up, I used to think of this as meaning of like your gifts, your talents. If you can sing, if you can play, if you can create, if you can do things, you shouldn't hide your talent. Because I was taught that too. Because we over spiritualize sometimes. Because we were trying to say, no, this is not about money or me. Although the illustration used it as money, but we were like, no, we use our talents to get more talents and become bigger at our talents, and then God will say, good job using your giftings and such. But I'm going to use it as it is said here in the scripture. It's the story of the talents, the parable of the talents, Matthew 25:14 through 30. If you guys are interested, I'm just going to read it quickly, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. The signs of time. What did I say? Matthew 25. I'm in chapter 24. Bam. Already in the wrong place. All right. For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country, who called his own servants and delivered his goods to them. And to one he gave 5 talents. In the New Living Translation, it says 5 bags of gold. So it literally says money. All right. To another, to another, 2, and to another 1, and to another 1. To each according to his own ability. And immediately he went on a journey. Then he who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them and made another 5 talents. And likewise, he who had received 2 gained 2 more also. But he who had received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. So he who had received 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Look, I have gained 5 more talents beside them. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You're faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of the Lord. The New Living Translation says, let's celebrate. Love that. All right, next. He also who had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Look, I have gained 2 more talents beside them. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Let's celebrate. Then he who received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. But his Lord answered and said to him, You wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to him who has 10 talents. For everyone who has, more will be given, and he who will have abundance, for everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the unprofitable servant into the outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. How cruel. Most of you are saying, that's so unfair. That's so unfair. You broke it again. I already gave you your baseball talk, Joe. That's what the Instagram was for. Anyway, let's go back to this idea. So a lot of you know that I've been studying, and I love reading and learning from different minds, different faiths. But I really love the way the Hebrew, the rabbis, they break down the Old Testament, and a lot of business principles can be founded in the Old Testament teachings. So the latest book I've been reading, with Thou Shalt Prosper by Rabbi Lapin, the chapter on money, they talked about what money really is. What is money really? Money, for a better way, is just, it's a way to measure the amount of value that you're able to bring to a commerce. In other words, it's a way to measure how much work equals productivity. What you're able to bring through your creativeness, through your output. Even Myron Gold, who I quoted earlier, I remember one time he mentioned something about the value equals the value you bring to the marketplace is how much people are willing to pay for things. So that mindset, let's just start breaking that down. If the mind, if we measure ourselves by by how much we're able to make, and that's why I believe a lot of, at least I can say for men and possibly women too, who are in the workforce, a lot of our depressed feelings is because we're not producing what we know we are capable of producing. or we are spinning the wheel because for some reason we're unwilling to think outside the box or go outside our comfort zone and try something different because we're used to, we're just creatures of habit. We get comfortable in one area and we want to stick around here and we're scared to try something new. But this thing, it only makes so much, and we can try it, do it more and more, but we're not going to be producing more. So we kind of get fed up, or we get mad, we get irritated because we're doing the same thing, or sometimes we're doing it harder or faster and we're just wearing it out. We're wearing out our forces, but we're not producing more because this is only, it's maxed out. If we want to produce more, we need to try something different or use another one of our creative outlets. I was reading an illustration today about a man who was a doctor, a man who studied medicine, a dentist. He was a dentist, and he was really good at what he was doing, but he decided to take a break. So he sold his practice. He sold the practice, and he got a boat, and he went to start selling the islands. But he went to these islands, and he thought that maybe he could just keep practicing his skill of being a dentist. And he was going to these different islands, but the islanders, they didn't have a need for him because his particular dentistry was more like cosmetic. And they're like, we don't need this. So all of a sudden, his skill that produced so much wasn't giving him, he wasn't able to use this skill to earn him anything in this island. But he had another skill. He knew how to scuba dive. Like back in like California where he's from, he had practiced scuba diving for fun. But in this area, he was able to use his scuba diving talent to go underneath to help fix boats or help find things that were lost by other ship people or seamen, whatever it's called, or help the islanders. So he was able to go and get resources from the water, and they were more willing to pay him for that service. Something that he would never have made a buck on back in California. Now here, it became valuable. So depending on where you're at, maybe if what you're doing right now is not that what you're doing is not being productive, but maybe there's no need for that, and you need to look at your surroundings and realize. Sorry, I don't know why I keep looking at this camera when the camera's this. You need to realize maybe you need to change and see what the need of the people is, what the need of the market demands. And that's what and whatever capability, other talent you have, you can use that to resource. So anyway, all that to say, what money really is, and this is the way there's the Hebrew or the Jewish custom is believed that money is simply a representation of the person's value, perceived value, what they can do or what they have done. And that's why a lot of us tend to, what do you do? Well, what are you? I'm a doctor. We identify with our occupation because that brings money, that we identify with the money. And so in a way, money is simply simple as a symbolicness of who we are. All right, so just follow me with it because there's a reason where we're going with this. Money symbolizes our personalities. Money is a reflection of who we are. And how much money is a reflection of the value that we produce to our community. So a lot of us, we might not have a lot of money, but we got to stop and think like, well, how much production? I mean, yes, we do good things. We help people. But have we ever stopped to think, but is this really the most valuable use of my time to help my people? Like, yeah, I can mow someone's lawn for $20. Nothing against landscaping people because they make a lot of money. But I am not the best at landscaping. I would give you a job that's okay. But if you want the best, pay someone who devotes their time for that. So I would not make that much in landscaping. I would only be limited to whatever agreed dollar value. But of course, I would have to work for someone who has those contacts, and they would get the most because of their business craftiness. Anyway, I ain't going into this, but I'm just about saying that. All right. So let's go back to that Jewish thought about how money simply is representative of who we are. It's a reflection of us. So now, with that in mind, with that thoughts process, going back to the love of money is the root of all evil. Follow me here. It's not that we love the money. It's that we love ourselves more than anyone else. Now, I know it sounds, I've in the past, I've talked about self-love, self-care, which is important because a lot of us, we've gone the extreme and we've gone to self-deprecation. We've gone to just putting ourselves down. We treat ourselves as the last thing on earth. And that mindset has brought us down. And I need to help you boost yourself up, your confidence, because you're good to no one if you can't even believe in yourself. How do you expect someone to love you if you can't even love yourself? I even posted one time, you know what? Treat yourself like someone you love. Just start there. But then there's those other people. And here's where I believe that scripture, and this is the way I'm seeing it differently, because it talks about greediness. The love of myself, when I think that regardless of what happens to anyone else, I am the most important thing ever. I am the one who has to exceed. The whole world can burn for all I care as long as I survive. That mindset is an evil mindset where I want to rise above everyone else and I want everyone to glorify me. Who authored that thought first? The being that was made out of gold and valuable gems. The being known as the morning star. The being who said, I will rise up and dethrone God, my creator. He is the father of rebellion. He is the father of lies. He is the father of deception. And he is also the author of myself above everyone else. That is the love of me above everyone else. That mindset is the root of all evil. Because even going back to the parable, and I'm going to just grab the New Living Translation. The guy who had the one, at the end, he was like, then the servant with the one bag of gold came and said, sir, I know you are a hard man, harvesting crops you didn't plant and gathering crops. You know, he just like, oh, you're such a big guy. You're a big boy. But he was trying to save his own skin. Even at the beginning, he's like, I ain't gonna even risk. I ain't gonna try to help my master grow his wealth. Ooh, that thought just hit me. It's not that he was lazy. He was rebellion in trying to help his master grow. You lazy and wicked servant. How I gave you a command to be fruitful and multiply, and instead you're like, oh, I'm gonna hide this talent. Because he's a mean God. You know, even that is like a victim mindset. Oh, because you're a mean guy. You take more than you should take. And so I hid it in the earth, and here it is. I didn't do anything with what you gave me. Because after all, why should I help you be blessed if I'm not blessed? Why should I do anything for anyone else if I am not the one to receive the benefits from this? See how that mindset is such a wicked, evil mindset? Where I am the preferred person. I am better than everyone else. I would rather you die than to succeed over me, than to do better than me. That is the love of money mindset. That is the love of myself mindset. If the money is, and again, this is just a thought. This is just food for thought. Think about that. Going back to what I've been learning about, because people are like, well, what about greediness, Josaphat? What are we gonna do about greediness? You just want to be greedy. You just want to have money. No, like I shared last time, I believe tithing is a get to, not a have to. Because tithing is the antidote to greediness. When you create abundance, but in your heart, you've already resolved that no matter how much you make, you will give out of your abundance. You will give to others. You will give back to what you believe in. As long as you get involved in your community, you start providing. It's not just giving the money too, it's getting involved in your community. Getting involved with nonprofit charities. Getting involved with the charity that you want to help take care of people, take care of the needs. You give to them, but you also allow of your time. You get to meet people. You get to humble yourself. You get to become one with them. There's no room for greed when you're constantly giving of what you make. When you get that heart that no matter how much I make, I'm going to be giving, I'm going to be helping my family. I'm going to be helping my church. I'm going to be helping my community. I'm going to be helping my schools. I'm going to be helping those because I need to be blessed so that I can bless them more. When you have that mindset, that's the antidote to greediness. That is not being this wicked, lazy servant that I don't care. I don't want to help you build your empire. But instead it's, I got to build your empire because I know that out of the abundance that you give, people, my community will be blessed from this, from my work, from your work, from my time, your time. The love of money is the root of all evil. The love of myself. Because remember, money is simply a representation of me. Money is spiritual, y'all. And so ask yourself, if I don't have what I think I should have, and this might be touchy because I've had to ask myself this. I remember one time, whenever I first heard that concept, Lord, if money is spiritual, and it comes to those who are blessing your children and doing work for others, I have devoted my life to ministry in the past and doing these things. Why then do I feel like money escapes me? And I had to ask myself the question, am I really doing all that I can do? Or that I should do, that I've been known to do? Anyway, I went way past my half-hour mark. Well, it's not way past, just 2 minutes past. What do you think? Am I onto something here about that thought process? If money simply represents me and my work ethic and the value I bring to the table, then maybe it's the love of me that's the root of all evil. If you found any value with today's lesson, ladies and gentlemen, share this. Share with other ones. Actually, I want to, speaking of baseball, because Mr. Sanchez is, I'll take that as a yes. I love you too, Mr. Bruce. If you didn't get a chance to see, oops, that's not what I was going to do. Boom. That's what I was going to do. On my Instagram earlier, the Hey Rockstar Instagram, I posted the this reel and talks about the baseball. He wants something about baseball, so it talks about the rules of the baseball. Let me give you this little quick commercial.
Hey Rockstar, it's officially baseball season. As a kid, I knew enough of the game to have fun with my friends. Now my best friend, well, he's Mr. Baseball. He knows the rules, he knows the strategy, and he has a way better chance at winning at this game than I ever will. There's another game we all love to play. It's the game of money. And a lot of people are playing not knowing that there's also rules and strategies to this game. And not knowing will cost you the game big time. So master the rules, master the game, master your money, and become the rock star of your industry.
Oh, man. Let's go back to me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been episode 71. Money is not the root of all evil. If you found any value on this, please share with your friends. Tell someone else. We try to do these shows weekly. And hopefully next week I'll start bringing in guests because we're going to add some more value. But remember, all this is for you to take, to apply it to your lives, your everyday. Find whatever value you find. Make sure that it helps you grow physically, spiritually, mentally, socially, and financially. That's what we're here to help you do. Because in the end, we want you to detach from failure, take ownership of your life, and develop the right mindset to become the rock star of your industry. Until next time, I am Josafat, El Guapo Emiliano, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. We just want to say until next time. Oh, first of all, thank you for coming. But until next time, much love and many blessings. Uh-oh. Let's make it happen. We're going to make